The Challenger crew didn't die in the explosion. They survived the blast and were conscious during their terrifying 2-minute fall back to Earth. Before we continue, would you mind liking this video and subscribing to our channel? Now, let's discover the horrifying truth about NASA's darkest moment. On January 28, 1986, Space Shuttle Challenger lifted off on what was supposed to be a routine mission. Among the 7 crew members was Christa, a teacher who would become the first civilian in space. But 73 seconds after liftoff, at 46,000 feet, Challenger exploded in a massive fireball watched by millions on live television. The world assumed all 7 astronauts died instantly in the explosion. Here's the shocking truth that NASA tried to hide: the crew cabin survived the explosion completely intact. The astronauts didn't die in the blast. They were alive and conscious during the entire 2-minute 45-second fall back to Earth. The explosion wasn't actually an explosion at all. It was a structural breakup caused by a failed O-ring seal that allowed hot gas to escape and destroy the external fuel tank. The crew compartment broke away undamaged. Even more horrifying, investigators found evidence that several crew members activated their emergency oxygen supplies after the breakup. This means they were not only alive but desperately trying to survive during the terrifying plunge. The crew cabin hit the ocean at over 200 miles per hour. Impact analysis showed the astronauts likely remained conscious until the very moment of impact with the water. They knew exactly what was happening to them. But here's the most shocking cover-up. NASA knew the O-rings were dangerous. Engineers at Morton Thiokol had warned that cold weather made the seals brittle and prone to failure. The night before launch, they recommended postponing the mission. NASA managers overruled the engineers and launched anyway because of political pressure. President Reagan was scheduled to mention the teacher in space during his State of the Union address that evening. The temperature at launch was 36 degrees Fahrenheit, far below the safe operating range for the O-rings. Engineers calculated the probability of seal failure at nearly 100%, but their warnings were ignored. The most tragic detail: Christa's parents and students were watching the launch live, expecting to see their teacher make history. Instead, they witnessed her horrifying death on national television. Recovery divers found the crew cabin on the ocean floor 11 weeks later. Personal items and the astronauts' remains confirmed they had tried to survive until the very end. The Challenger disaster led to a complete redesign of the shuttle program and new safety protocols. But it came too late for 7 brave astronauts who died because engineers' warnings were ignored. Every time you see a space launch, remember, the Challenger crew's sacrifice forced NASA to finally put safety before schedule pressure. That's your space disaster knowledge bomb. If this revealed the terrifying truth behind NASA's darkest day, smash that like button. Subscribe to 3Min Knowledge for more shocking secrets about tragedies that changed history.